right, recording is going.
All right. Hello, everybody. While we wait for Jason to settle in a little bit, you can go ahead and I think do a roll call for Thursday, January 22nd at 4 p.m. The Community Advisory and Public Safety Commission. Let me call up. All right. So we'll just do a verbal roll call. Jason?
Here.
Sharon?
Here.
Colonel? Amy? Oh, I saw you mouth here. I will accept that.
Here.
Robert, I'm here. So I believe that is everybody. Oh.
Thanks to out of your cold shoulder.
Thanks for keeping me honest there. Hey. Okay, we all should have had the agenda and memorandum minutes. So motion to approve that.
I'll motion to.
Second it.
All right, motioned and seconded. I'll let you call the roll on that. I pull up something, if that's okay.
All right, sure. I'll just go around. We'll start on Zoom. Cammy?
Aye. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Robert? Aye. Harshin? Aye. Jason? Aye. Sharon? Aye. That motion passes unanimously.
Great. So we'll move on to reports, if any. So we'll start with the co-chairs.
Where now, both of us were at Isabella's meeting, right? I think that just a comment, not really substantive, but just be thinking about how even when you're not representing the commission, you can still be doing the work in between in other ways, just really important. Because I know that with several iterations of the commission, there was a lot of tension about wanting to do projects in the commission. Or do projects on behalf of the commission, which was acting as individuals, but it's important to remember that us as individuals are passionate about things. And there's all sorts of ways we can get engaged. So push that out there.
And for me, as the other co-chair, I know that my appointment is ending this month. And I'm not renewing because I'm going to be relocating. And I just wanted to send on, my thanks to everybody for the work and continuing it, whether in this commission or others. I know that we're going to be in the new business, we're going to be looking at electing new officers. I think as a commentary, I think that we got into a habit with this particular commission, and I had as much part of it as anywhere. We were kind of more trying to get an email whether everyone was attending and trying to get the maximum amount. I think we got into a habit of that. But looking at other committees and commissions, I think the default assumption is that really that folks attend and that they email if that is going to change. So I'm hoping that as the commission moves on in the future, that maybe we can kind of reset, you guys kind of reset yourselves so that that is the assumption to maybe make sure that, we assume attendance and old email for change. That'd be something that just trying to get everybody together. I know for me, it was a lot, and I'm sure it's a lot of headway for the staff too. So, but other than that, I really thank everybody and thank the city council folks for letting me tag along on this appointment. So I guess we'll move on to individual members. Does anybody else have anything to report? Or comments on it?
Second, what you said about maybe we look forward to the rest of our terms and put those dates in, so we all know we're gonna be here and plan around it versus things catching us off guard. But, so we can, I think we catch momentum and then we lose it, and I don't want us to, as we lose you all, lose anyone that's going on, so.
I'm only stepping down because my joints are starting to hurt.
All right, then, moving on to staff.
Wait,
Oh, you had something to say? Sorry.
I wanted to thank both of you for your service.
Mhm.
I don't know you as well as I know Jason, but I'm gonna miss you, Jason.
But I'll
I-
find some way to connect with you again.
All right, we can roll down the hills together.
Not outside.
But thank you both for your service and the work that you've done for the city. I really appreciate it, and it's gonna be missed. So thank you.
I give that. Yeah, we'll miss you. Whatever. I didn't know you were going to bring something.
So now we move on to staff. Sorry.
We don't have any particular reports, and obviously if there's any questions for us, we're happy to answer them now or any time during the meeting.
Okay. I think I'll briefly ask if I may, how are we feeling about support staffing amounts for February and the next meeting? How are we feeling about that?
Pretty good. So just a little bit about our staffing issues. We went from 3 full-time to two full-time folks at the about the middle of December. During that period of time, we also for the students who come in as fellows and interns while they're taking finals and having winter break, we don't have them either. So we did have a period of time that we were short-staffed, and also we have been spending a good amount of time working towards compliance with new federal accessibility requirements. Some of you may be familiar with those. They're, I think, going to be effective later on in April and impact, for governmental institutions. So City of Bloomington, for the county, for IU, everything that they do in terms of distribution of public materials through a website and making sure that they're accessible for all people. So very important work, but certainly a big undertaking. We're making good progress on that, and I'm sure that we'll continue to make progress and learn as we go. But we're hoping that the heavy lifting for that is done relatively soon. And our expectation is that we will return to, fairly being able to do normal support for all of the for this commission and for all of the council committees as well. So, yeah, good question. This is Aria Deb. She is taking Christine's place on a part-time basis. I'm Kari Bennett. I am the deputy attorney and deputy administrator. The first meeting that I attended was the last meeting, but I think that you were unavailable for that one. So, Christine has left us. So, you know, that was when I said we went down to, 2 people. That was when she left. But, Aria started this week. We've got a couple of fellows from the O'Neill program, that are back and working with us now too. So we're feeling good about that. But a lot of that really just came together just this week. Yeah.
So I think after that, we'll move on to public comments. I think that there's a chat update. I don't know if that was an old one or.
I think that's an old one, but let me double check over here. Yeah.
Got it. All right. So yeah, we have somebody in the audience here. I don't know if they want to come up and, no? Observer? No.
Thank you.
And then, anybody that is a guest on Zoom, if they have any.
I got something.
Yeah.
So that is, Isabel, she is saying that she has something for the old business, 4A, the report on, the response from the mayor's office. And she wanted to know if she should wait until that time period to, bring that up, which we're gonna go straight to that afterwards, so.
Seems like it. So, yeah. As a matter of fact, I mean, we may as well let Isabel speak on that first. I'm just assuming everybody has read at the bottom the actual thread that I did have set on. Yeah. Isabel.
And there she is.
Is she on mute?
Can you unmute yourself, Isabel?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, I can.
awesome.
Hi, everybody. So I did hear back from the mayor's office that they did before the end of 2025, they did enter into a contract with LEAP, which is the Law Enforcement Action Partnership, to do, yes. Cammie knows how long we were working on that. Finally, for them to do a study of our 911 calls and make recommendations on how best to use our current resources, including Stride Mobile and others, to address 911 calls that currently are just all go to the police. So that is a great update that they are going to be conducting that study. It'll take 6 to 9 months. So by September, we should have something.
Cool. That, yeah.
And I actually am happy to share, maybe I can share it with you via email, or the staff can, the scope of work that LEAP has, you know, that the agreement has decided upon.
Isabel, we're happy if you want to send it my way. We're happy to distribute it to committee members or commission members if that's easiest.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't think of it earlier to put it in the
That's fine.
packet.
No, that is good news, because I felt like the last message that I got was still very vague. So to have those details is much more refreshing than what I had to report. So your report trumps mine.
I have a question for Isabel. So Isabel, when LEAP does this, will they include like well, you said 911 calls, so that's the police and then Stride. And then is there anybody else that sort of incorporate it all so we can have like how do I say, a consolidated picture?
I think that's the idea. So they would also talk to like the fire department has their, what are they called? Mental health, community health people that, mobile integrated health is what it's called, that
Oh.
visit people. So they would also be, talk to, Leap would talk to them and would talk to other stakeholders. I don't have the scope of work, in front of me right now, but I think, yeah, they would have a comprehensive view of, who might better handle some of the calls.
I know originally that was part of the plan to talk
Mhm.
to the fire department as well, the mobile intervention unit, whatever. I can't think of what it's called, but that was originally part of the plan. I'm so excited that I wish it hadn't taken so long, but I'm so excited that this is finally the end result. So I'm just happy. So thank you for that news.
Well, thank you for your advocacy.
Um, So it sounds like that will complete the old business. I think we're going to hand this off to Jason for some of the new stuff, because I'm a little unsure about the process for election of officers, things like that, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so really, we just need two people to mediate the meeting and to prepare the agenda with staff. And so those, we've worked in a co-chair model. We used to have a more constant rotating model so that everyone would get a chance, and it would be egalitarian and somebody could take over. But it seems that uh, we were asked to have more consistency, and so we switched to year-long terms. So we have two co-chairs, so that the balance doesn't just fall on one or the other of you. And really, like I said, it's just mediating and working with staff to, put stuff on the agenda. And with that, you can just ask the rest of the commission. So it's just taking on a temporary, greater role. And that's been Robert and I, in case it wasn't.
Very nice. The one thing with them, very.
So would you say this is like a couple hours a month?
Yeah,
Outside of meeting.
right. Yeah, I'd say if that. And also, like, as Robert was saying, I think if you could get, an expectation going that people were expected to attend and would email otherwise, you wouldn't be chasing around people. But we've been the ones sending those emails and like routing.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm good at that.
yeah. But in other iterations, it was really just like last agenda, do we have anything to add? Do we have anything to take off? Okay, let's put it out. So it was, yeah, it was really like only a couple hours, but then we were also doing other stuff, so. Not as co-chairs.
And, if, as we switch over that, you guys have till the end of the month, right, as your official term ends, is there an opportunity for you to like? To listen, or be like, hey, this is how I did it, or here's the
No.
format things that I understand, or here's this. I feel like we still also haven't been given a lot of. The tools.
Oh, right.
I feel they're still very new and also kind of. Confused often by all the open door policy, structured things, so.
Yeah, I'd certainly be willing to be in informal contact.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing proprietary about it. It's not like I just turn my files over and turn over my email and everything is taken away from me.
I mean, I would,
I have got paper all there, but yeah, it's easier to go to work. Okay. But, oh,
I would propose that, folks, like individual folks could email both of us. And then we could tag to that, and obviously, as long as a significant amount of people did not. Like as long as like two other commission members didn't.
Yeah.
Some sort of work done, yeah.
Yeah, and some of that
That
can
makes sense.
be, like I learned about and like the rest of the commission learned about with staff and city legal, right? So like open door laws and stuff like that. Um.
And there was still the plan of the potential training, but also, you know, we want until that happens, if I have some of the people that are okay.
That training is still intended to happen relatively soon through Jennifer
Yeah,
Crosley in the clerk's office. And, you know, we, of course, at council staff will continue to provide support, including, you know, keeping on top of open door law. The law usually changes in some way or another almost every year that the General Assembly meets. And you may have noticed on the agenda that one thing that's relatively new is everybody has their name appearing on the agenda along with your terms as well. So that's something that was that became law last year.
That's gonna be every agenda?
Yes.
That's smart.
Yes, yes. So we will continue to, you know, to keep on top of that stuff and provide support too.
So I think one thing that I was never clear on, because we had a rotated position, and how do I put this, I was kind of volunteered. as a co-chair. Yeah, so like was, you know, do we as a body volunteer people, or can we suggest folks in absentia? Do we encourage people to step up on their own? Oh, Cammy.
Yeah, I mean, usually last time it was more helpful when we had a lot more seasoned members.
Yes.
It was usually one seasoned member with one newer member.
Most of it. Alright, so it's there.
I'll help.
A seasoned member steps forward to.
That one, yeah, and Cammy's been co-chair before, so co-chairing is possible.
Cammy was the first co-chair.
Actually, the co-chair, it's the Cammy co-chairs, that's the official name of the position.
Well, but obviously we would be elected to it, so I think we still have another position open, so, or do we wanna vote for each one, or?
Well, we just throw names in,
Throw names in.
there's another name, everyone.
you know. Is anybody else?
I'm in.
You wanna fight for
I'm in.
it?
I mean, truthfully, I don't even know if I'm gonna be on the commission after January 31st. I haven't gotten a word yet.
Oh,
They don't, I don't know if the council hasn't decided or
yeah.
they haven't done anything.
I could probably provide a little bit of insight into that, with, the, way that these appointments are up at the end of January. So for part of the commissioners, you know, they're, up the end of this January. With the council, electing new leadership at the beginning of the year and then starting to have their, committees. They are, you know, working through applications, and it may just take a while longer, to hear just with everybody getting things scheduled. So, yeah, just expect that, that you will hear it, just maybe a little bit, delayed from what it has been in the past.
I was just wondering on that note, actually, will it be the same process like first time? Where it was like, not an interview, but you know, you came in, you spoke, and then you came on the commission, or if you're already a part, reapplying will just be smoother sail?
That's a great question, and I honestly, I don't have enough experience yet to know that for sure. And so So I apologize. We can find that out and let you know, but
In
yeah.
the past, we just reapplied and if there wasn't anything wrong, they just kind of reviewed and they're like, yeah, this member is good, they've been showing up. And then just notifying us. So yeah, there wasn't another interview.
I would expect that it would be the same way going forward then.
And Isabel has made a couple of statements in the chat. So,
So she has said, members can continue to serve for a period of time until the reappointment, decisions. If your term is, expiring, you do need to reapply if you want to, and I know that both of you have. Then, yeah, it sounds like you'll be able to serve, even beyond your period of time until you hear back. Which, like I said, it's not going to take a super long time or anything like that. It's just beginning of the year is rough sometimes, right? So, yeah, thank you as well.
all right, so we have two, folks stepped forward on for, just a voice vote, there's.
Yeah, so Cammy and Kale have, they're, volunteered to be the co-chairs. So we're going to vote, to appoint them. So we'll go around by a voice vote. We'll skip the chairs first.
Do we do one at a time or we say vote together?
I think you can do them as a slate of candidates.
Unless anybody opposes, we can vote for them together. Okay. And we'll skip the candidates and do them last. So they don't feel self-aggrandizing. Roger.
Aye.
Impression, aye. Jason, aye.
Sharon, I love the alliteration, Candy and Kale.
Yeah. Oh, and Cammy and Kale should vote. Cammy. Yes, I think that was yes and Kale.
Aye.
Aslan. Unanimously approved.
All right.
You should know that, as leaders, you have everybody behind you. Except for us, for you. It's not you, it's us.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna feel that easy, so. Going fast. On the. I was just gonna go.
The what?
I was gonna talk about, now that I was looking at everyone's terms.
Yeah.
The question you had, did you plan on, reapplying? Or were you more thinking you were gonna end?
No, I reapplied.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I think
yeah,
Aaron-
Jennifer Crosby sent me an email, I did. Yeah.
I wonder if Aaron,
I think it depends also on how many other people are applying and, cause now we have, place for 9 people, how many are on the commission now?
the seats that we need to.
The agenda has 9 with the vacant spot.
Yeah. But then Aaron's also is up.
So it's good if we're
there.
fully
Yeah.
staffed, fully.
For MPs.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like this makes things a little odd with quorum, with everybody ending and not knowing.
What, who's gonna be reappointed? Yeah,
I wish that
because,
there was more vision into that.
yeah, because quorum is capped, it's not a set number. So depending on the number of total members that you have, quorum's going to change. It'll at least drop by 1, 2 members are dropping off.
Did that change? Did that change in the year? I think I seem to remember, at least at one time, it was half of the number of people in the commission.
Yeah.
I mean, no, who's, the number of slots we have.
It's a little, it is a little bit unclear in, the Bloomington Municipal Code. And I think the overall preference is to make sure that, we have a full slate of appointments for all boards and commissions. And I'm gonna take an action item to follow up with Jennifer. And, talk a little bit about, schedule and timing, for the interview committee and the review process. And, maybe one of the big things that would be, helpful for members of the commission is, first of all, for people whose terms are up, we know a couple of you have already reapplied, which is great. But if, just as a suggestion, if somebody could maybe offer to do some outreach with Erin to find out, if she intends to reapply. And then also think about, any other, outreach you can do in the community. The city, of course, routinely, issues press releases to let people know that there are appointments available. And through the website will clearly indicate, that there are positions available. But the best advocates are the people who are serving on the commission now and doing the work of the commission now. So I think that's worth, talking about, what different avenues, you might want to use to do a little bit of supplemental outreach. Because it is true, at the very least, we've got positions, to fill. And getting those filled as quickly as possible would be beneficial.
With outreach, is there like, is there like a certain place or time period that we wanna target in terms of people that we want to have on cap? So is it just anyone who wants to get involved?
That's been an ongoing conversation, because CAPS is supposed to represent underrepresented people.
Yes.
And so we've talked about how to get a diversity of people without, just saying, like,
Yeah.
we don't have any black people on the committee, right? So like, it's harder, but trying to recruit somebody that's not like us. Or, we've talked about getting somebody who's data oriented, because we're all not, don't seem to be number crunchers. That would be nice. Yeah.
But I mean, and, I know I've said this a number of times, all the more reason for us to get back to assuming, attendance. So, yeah, unless otherwise.
One thing, telling the people that you're asking to join, are like, we need to go and show it.
Yeah.
Cause we're ready to do some things, the people I think are, gonna be the best people to suggest.
Yeah, cause I'm the only person on the campus who's still in school, as an undergraduate, so the people I know are majority undergraduates, so would that be something that would be okay, is, talking about it with them and asking if they're wanting to involve that sort of situation, or something you wanna veer away from that? Yeah.
I'm biased, but of course, I would say that's a bonus, because then we've been continually talking about bridges, so that the city's not operating separate from the university, which is kind of a big player.
Yeah.
But yeah, also to have different perspectives, like in school, and not just like grad students.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, that's why I was a little, it's a little bit of an elephant in this university, that's quite a big role, but I do think, yes.
Well, I will apologize, my brain is a little bit mush, but I'm on the day job, but what are the details for the commission appointments in 2026 business, to kind of cover it at that table, or?
I think absolutely on the commission appointments, and adding 2026 business was really just thinking about the fact that it's January, it's a new year. I think this works hand in hand with the commission appointments, thinking through, what are the potential areas of focus, either things that, are carrying forward from 2025, or have been, sort of on the list, that it makes sense to turn to. Obviously, there was the discussion earlier about the study that's going to be done on the 911 calls. And there will be a period of time that that study is just happening, but when the report comes out, anticipating what the commission might want to do with that. Anything there, I think is also helpful in, when you're, potentially doing an outreach to, people who might want to join the commission to tell them, hey, these are the kinds of things that we work on and what we plan on focusing on for the next year.
And I don't know, I mean, I think I've said in previous meetings and, we've been trying to get there and obviously Golden continues to refer back to the 2023 report. What was the specific name for that? We reported to the city, the HES.
Let's see the picture.
Uh,
To the verge.
Yeah. Yeah. Our 2023 report that our body made to cancel.
The alternative public safety report.
Yes. I mean, it seemed like, it was a good idea to try and hew to that and look at some of the, bullet points that were made. And obviously, we've had a lot of churn of members. So, that could be a good guidepost, for future kind of bullet points to like look into.
And I think staying with Isabel's, we talk a lot about the alternative to 911 dispatch, and so anything we can do while we wait for 6 months, or any like topics around that can help support when it does come out, we're ready to like help drive whatever anyone needs,
Yeah, we did, at one time, we talked about having a social worker, or maybe there's just one, who works with the police department, come and speak to us. And maybe getting some of that data from, the police department about, I don't know, about 911 calls or,
I think that'll all come with the week.
this, supposedly, there were some budget requests, evaluate and optimize dispatch operations, implement police protocols and dispatch with interagency. I guess that a lot of that will be covered in this report that's gonna come out of this that Isabel is involved with, but I would love to have someone come and speak to us and have some figures to work with. I think Aaron would have that. She's willing.
Yeah.
Isabel said that she made an error and the LEAP study won't start until April, and that it will take 7 months from then. I was wondering if maybe we could do something to get our community more involved with the coming program that we might have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To like let them know that this might be possible, to find out their opinions, like to hype them up about the fact that we might have this opportunity available to them. I don't know.
I like that idea.
Has in the past, the CAPS commission done kind of more a public forum at like the library, or that people attend?
Yeah,
To
it's
talk
town
about
hall.
stuff?
Yes,
Town hall.
town halls.
Yeah.
We were on stage for that, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for remembering our performance. Yeah, no, and that was good because the way that was formed is it was around before the release of the alternative public safety report. And then we formed people into physical breakout rooms. And then I think the Zoom people had their own breakout room. Breakout Zoom. And they discussed common topics, and then we had reporters anonymize the responses and brought those all together. And so it's people getting together either in a physical space or in a Zoom space, which is still engaged, and voicing their concerns and having those heard, and then the commission works with that. I think that was, I live now down the road from somebody who first heard about the CAPS Commission through that, and she said she felt really engaged. She's already a person who's well engaged with the community, but yeah, I think that's a way to show them into our work, but then also, yes, the fact that they can influence government without having to commit to a commission.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think we're done with all the new business then. Does anybody have any last minute things that they wanna talk about?
I think the one thing when I think about kind of the structure of the commission, and it's like you guys have done large reports and broader things, but I kind of think about smaller actionable items to address some public safety concerns, or like maybe have smaller things that we can chew off. And I guess like one of them that I would suggest for a future thing would be discussing our city contract with like flock surveillance, as we learn more about AI surveillance and how it's being used to harm public. Just little things like maybe I've seen some cities create petitions with themselves and then bring it to the city council or commissions. But I wondered about maybe the commission, or like what's the legality in that of us like starting something like a conversation around that, and then potential like community engagement around addressing something like that. Like, is it inappropriate for me to start a petition? To like get,
I would probably need to, I think I'd need to understand a little bit more about, what, I'm not familiar enough with,
No.
did you say it was Fox survey?
flock, it's this
Oh,
camera, yeah.
okay,
I know we had a renewed contract with them, purchase in 2024. Yeah. I think maybe we're coming up on potential to not renew or shift that. And I think that's something that's tied into public safety pretty severely, and so maybe something very small and actionable that we could do in the first months. And then we find another smaller thing where we're like, okay, how do we feel about this? Or how does the community feel about this? What can we do? Kind of things versus the big pictures we are painting big pictures, but for what purpose? And hopefully these littler things will give us things that we can actually get done.
Kayla, you talking about surveillance in Bloomington?
Yeah, and it's in a lot of cities currently. It grew really fast. And most police departments or cities have contracts with this company. And they actively use it for immigration. Yeah, to use AI to connect. It's all being fed into the weapon that is being created against the public. And so there's a lot of concern from a lot of cities and also a lot of community members about it. Including myself, so I was like, oh, is this something that I could start a petition of, or should it be something that if we should ask the public about it and then figure out how public feels about it and then start something like that, or, you know, cause I've almost started.
Person or department that administers that,
The police department, yeah, they drop the cameras off around different places. They're like those little rolly ones you'll see in the parking lots of Kroger. They look into your car, facial recognition, license plate, registers. They're looking to see what you're stealing, if you're stealing, they're like getting used to your purchases, and it's, AI is scary. But surveillance is even
So
scarier.
where? Are they? I also haven't noticed these.
So there is, I
They're
have,
sneaky.
I have a little video that, it's just 11 minutes. I'll be happy to just pass it direct to you in an email.
Okay.
So it's kind of a nice encapsulation, at least at the very minimum, from an IT perspective, but everyone's level. Some of the, security and privacy issues that can be involved with the deployment of flock cameras. It's definitely a concern. So I can pass that on to you, so you can be a little more.
Right.
And I think there was a B-Square article about it too.
Piece where,
You know, there was a lot of concern that was presented by the ACLU when Flock was first getting in contract with the city, that was presented by previous parties that now they have proven to do the things that they're concerned about, which is where they choose to place them to monitor. Generally goes with them.
It's a private, on private property.
It's not all, of them. They're all connected, so you can have private ones, you can have public ones, but they're all connected because it's a network that you. Through one company that then is feeding that to whoever wants to pay for it.
now I believe, like the cameras at Kroger, for example, are through Kroger, through
Yes.
another
Mhm.
company. I don't think that they're.
But it's a similar,
Flock.
it's a
Yeah,
similar,
yeah, just for clarity. And then something to put to the rest of the staff, another option would be, we're talking about setting up, or at least we're talking about setting a petition. If this is not a good idea for, the CAPS commission to sponsor, can individuals act as individual citizens to set that up and not have an impact on the commission? So that might be, you don't have to answer that now, but that might be something to get back with us about.
I think that's great, and
Yeah.
if I could suggest that maybe a good starting place for this is, an education session, of this, commission, so that everybody is sort of on an equal, baseline, that's a great word, of, what this is all about. And Kale, it sounds like it's something that you know quite a bit about, and so maybe that's something that would be, great for an upcoming meeting to share some of those resources, have some of that discussion, because I feel similarly, I don't know much of anything about this, so that would be a starting place, to even be able to answer the question about, how would a petition work? Is that the right, process of doing it? Would a resolution, would be a better idea, except for that doesn't involve public input, so, all of those things.
on like the work sessions, I know with quorum things, is there the ability for this commission to meet in full again, outside of it's a one day a month versus it being, cause then two of us can get together and it'd be fine.
Right,
But then, so is there like a chance for this room to be available if we set another date in between the main two or something, you know what I mean?
I think that is a possibility, and, they're.
We used to schedule work sessions so that we could do, like, just get work done where everybody would come in and we would work through ideas and vote on things so that we could go through issues in detail. Like, we would have a time, and it wouldn't be like every month, but we would schedule a time where we would have work sessions. Jason, do you remember that?
Yeah, and then if there was something affected or needing the whole commission to approve it, then we would bring it back to a regular meeting and then we would have quorum to actually, and that would satisfy.
So is there more of an informality to those work sessions because you're saving a quorum then for?
For work sessions, those would still require you to have a quorum.
Would it still require to have staffing requirements as well? I know that's also.
Probably at the very least, because we would still need to allow for public participation, so this whole setup and everything else like that. But you can, decide that in having this session, you're not gonna take any official action, you're going to deliberate, discuss all of that other sort of stuff. So it is still a public meeting open to or subject to the open door law. You still have to have quorum, but it can be a lot less formal because you can have a fairly limited agenda and, focus more on, rolling your sleeves up and really, talking something through.
I think also with the cameras in itself, if we have an initial meeting just purely focused on like fact finding per se, where have our individual research and that can be advertised to the community as a time to express what you think on the flock cameras in particular. And then we have a separate session, like instead of waiting the full month, like 2 weeks or 1 or 3 weeks or whatever, and that's where we're able, more put our heads together, actually work on the resolution or whatever the solution is. So it's bifurcated in a sense that one is purely focused on is what is this? Yeah.
Well, and I would also say this could be a good opportunity to have that as a topic suggestion for future agendas.
Again, they kind of blend together, 2026
We
and
just
topic,
kind of merge into that, yeah.
I think it's the same thing, just phrase different.
I mean,
I think what we have to decide, on that issue is if it's aligned with our mission.
Yeah.
We
I think,
talked about that.
I think the thread I'm seeing is like opening a conversation about what the community views as safety, right? And surveillance is like, oh, is it safer to have a ring camera, or is that just making somebody feel comfortable that they're seeing things? Where's the line of, where safety ends, where you're like,
Personal surveillance versus. Public surveillance.
public, as that we don't
Very
necessarily
different.
see, yeah.
but yeah.
Can
I
we
mean,
have-
you know,
Can
Right.
we have a website where we ask the community these types of questions and get their opinions on them?
Ooh. You mean like something posted on the cast page? Where people are directed there?
There are options to collect input through a variety of means. We've used Google Forms to be able to distribute and then compile information, for example. Figuring out how to make that manageable, I think would be a good thing, but sure, that is an option.
Okay, because in other cities where they have like community responders, they ask these types of questions of their community and work off of their feedback.
I think
And so
sorry.
I think
Sorry.
that is something that would be important for us to do, is get our community feedback.
I think that would be easier too for like students to be able to submit feedback asynchronously versus having to come, I mean. I've had a class at this time in previous semesters, it's still a worth of time, so having that available, you can set up a table on campus with the QR code, so it would be good.
So, I'm in. The question is, how do we go about scheduling a work session? Even if we were just to work on a Google form, can we do that in the email when we adjourn here, or do we have to make that decision while we're all together in a meeting? To be like, oh, we would love to set up a date to do a work session.
I would say that it would be best if that's something that you discuss in this meeting and then provide direction to, for example, for the co-chairs to work with council staff to, you know, to make it happen. Yeah.
You're just on charge, right? Well, you're still in charge for this one.
For this one. Um. So.
In terms of other things to tackle on this meeting.
Yeah, I mean. Well, it sounds like what we've got on the suggestions for future agendas is potentially either a learning or but also, you know, gathering some block information offline. But also working or coordinating the Google
Response.
that community response sheet.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how we move that forward today.
I guess that's something that we need for them. That may be entertain other, things for future agendas. One thing that I'm thinking about is how we went to the Stride Center. So. Sure, you're the only one staying down of the three of us that went to there. But I think if I can speak to what I learned from there was, all the different things that they do. And part of that is mental health, right? And so if we're thinking about something that matters in terms of our mission, you know, mental health. Offering mental health accessible to everyone, I think that would be something that you could look more into.
Yeah, so are you gonna be around for another month or?
Yeah, I'll stick. Yeah,
I would also, another thing for this year is I would love to get a report on the new Shalom Center, or weekend, I should say.
Yeah.
Progress, what plans are you able to give a report on that?
succinctly in one meeting. Yeah, definitely speak to some of the things. It might be good to have a guest speaker from Shalom, and talk, like one of the board members. Something, because, a lot of times with the work that I'm doing, I'd say, you know, that's the horizon, which is a good horizon, it looks pretty promising. But right now, there's Crawford Apartments and permanent supportive housing and the continuum of care. Funding is all being removed at the federal level, state level, and then a little bit the local level, they're strapped. So like more awareness and who picks up. Like one thing that I learned in the alternative public safety research was that, you know, when we don't designate who takes care of mental health, it falls on the firefighters, the police officers and stuff like that. So if Crawford doesn't get funding, that's 110 people who are put out onto the streets, fighting for limited shelter beds and other things like that. So yeah, and I think that's something that is a little less apparent to people, is the downstream effects of not doing something or doing something wrong.
Alright, can you suggest someone? Should I call Beacon and ask them to get a speaker for next month?
That's a great idea. I say go for it.
Right. And that would maybe direct, yeah. So I think they would certainly be willing to have somebody advocating for the work.
Should I ask someone in particular, or just call and say, or I should just stop by and say, yeah, I'm not thinking of customers.
Yeah, just call, I don't know who Cause I'm just trying to think, like, anybody could skip to it, but I'm not sure who they would want. To like come to a public meeting. Forrest might be a lot too busy. Even though.
Not a little, but a lot.
Right.
I don't mean to bounce back and forth, but it just popped into my head. We were talking about, work sessions and, but also it would be nice to maybe, double check with staff, like. I know that you were positively inclined for like staffing amounts for future months, but how would you be feeling about working sessions? Like, is there a date that maybe like the body should be looking towards for some of these working sessions that might help guarantee that staffing will be available and things like that?
I think that that's, a great, point of discussion. We, have right now, CAPS meetings scheduled out, I think monthly meetings through the rest of this year. And, being thoughtful about, any additional meetings, and, I was gonna recommend, for consideration that, the next meeting, could be a little bit of a discussion around, all right, so here are some topics, here's some potential prioritization, and a little bit of what scheduling might look like to, to do justice to the topics, including when it's important to get public input. How do we want to do that? How do you want to do that? Those sorts of things. And so, that being the case, the co-chairs have quite a bit of latitude as it concerns, setting the agenda. And we can pull together the notes, for this meeting to share with you so that you have, a little bit of, some organized, thoughts to bring to bear to that.
And when we're emailing about the next agenda and things like that, it can just be.
Yes.
To your people.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Try to keep the thread straight. Yeah.
So, yeah, so we do have new people. What? So. Hi. So you're attending the tax commission?
More than so many views.
Ah.
You might need to go to a different room for that.
Gotcha.
I can see if I can look it up quickly for you. You guys continue on.
So, as a result, I guess, we've gone through everything else. So I move to adjourn the meeting.
Yeah,
The last second,
All
I
right,
hear for the last second.
Maureen, you do the first roll call.
No, because we don't want to get rid of you, so we can't adjourn the meeting. You guys are stuck here.
Tricked again. Procedural.
And Kimmy on the filibuster.
That's right.
Oh, we don't have to do a roll call.
Oh, that's right.
For the
All right, I guess we're adjourned. I just keep speaking. I guess we're adjourned.
Talk soon, Kevin.
Thank you. I'll
Thank
miss you
you.
guys.
Thank you. I'll miss you too. Except not, I mean, cause I always have the dreams to read, right?
Friends we made along the way.
The good thing about schizophrenia.